Vasishta continued. Thus resolved, Lord Vishnu quickly reached the netherworld. In whose radiance the demons gained new strength and vitality, but dazzled by his divine light, they ran away. Vishnu approached where Prahlada was seated and roared aloud, "Noble one, wake up!" and at the same time blew his conch. Hearing this, the demons fell down and the gods rejoiced. The life force began to vibrate in the crown of Prahlada's head. The life force then spread throughout his body. The senses gained energy and they began to apprehend their respective objects. The mind began to function. The nadis, nerves, began to vibrate. The mind began to become aware of its physical encasing, the body. Prahlada was fully awake to his surroundings and gazed upon the Lord. Prahlada's been immersed in realization of the self, so much so that he's not been undertaking his duties as Lord of the netherworld. Vishnu's come to wake him up, and the waking up is described in terms of yogic physiology. Lord Vishnu said to Prahlada, "Remember, O Prahlada, your identity as such and as the ruler of the netherworld. You have nothing whatsoever either to acquire or to reject. Arise. You have to remain in this body till the end of this world cycle. I know this is inevitable, as I know the law of this world order. Hence you have to rule this realm here and now as a sage, liberated from all delusion. The time for cosmic dissolution is not yet. Why do you vainly wish to abandon this body? The signs, symptoms and events that naturally precede such natural cosmic dissolution are not yet seen. Why do you vainly wish to abandon this body? I exist. All this world and the creatures in it exist. Hence do not think of abandoning your body yet. He is fit to die who is sunk in ignorance and sorrow. He who grieves thinking, I am weak, miserable, stupid, etc., is fit to die. He who is swayed by countless desires and hopes, and he whose mind is restless, is fit to die. He who is subject to the pairs of opposites like happiness and unhappiness, who is attached to this body, who is distressed physically and mentally, whose heart has dried up through the fires of lust and anger, is fit to experience death. People regard that as death when one abandons the body. Living is appropriate to one whose mind is well controlled by his self-knowledge and who is aware of the truth. He should live who does not entertain notions of egoism and who is unattached to anything, who is free from likes and dislikes and has a calm mind, whose mind has reached a state of no mind. It is proper that he should live who is established in the perception of the truth, and who functions here as if playfully, who is inwardly neither elated nor depressed by external events, who is free from the desire to acquire or to reject. He, hearing of whom or listening to whom people experience great joy, life alone is appropriate to him and not death. So Vishnu is accusing Prahlada of wanting to abandon his body, which is probably what would happen if Prahlada continued in contemplation, although it's unlikely that he had any such wish. It's just something that would have happened in the natural course of events. And it sounds like Vishnu is perhaps being a bit judgmental and sentencing everybody to death who is not interested in pursuing self-enquiry. But that's a rather bleak way of listening to that. Basically he's just saying that most people are not really living up to their full potential. They're throwing away their life. That's what he's meaning by fit to die here. Those who are sunk in ignorance and sorrow are throwing away their life. Those who reinforce some limited notions of themselves, I'm weak, miserable, stupid, etc., they're not making the most of their life. They're not making the most of their potential. If you're swayed by countless desires and hopes, and your mind is restless, again, you're limiting yourself. You're not realizing your full potential. You are not living fully. If you're subject to the pairs of opposites like happiness and happiness, attached to the notion of a body, distressed physically and mentally, heart has dried up through the fires of lust and anger, well, basically you're just getting the fruits of your own self-imposed limitations. And finally he says, rather incredulously, people regard that as death when one abandons the body. And this is what the demons think that Prahlada has done, that he's dead, that he's abandoned the body. So living is appropriate to one whose mind is well controlled by self-knowledge and who is aware of the truth. This is a person who can make the most of life. Somebody who's realized their essence, and as such can live life according to their full potential and give unconditionally. Such a person does not entertain notions of egoism and is unattached to anything, free from likes and dislikes, and has a calm mind. His mind has reached the state of no mind. No mind is the mind that does not create stories and get caught up in them. It is proper that he should live who is established in the perception of the truth and who functions here as if playfully, who is inwardly neither elated nor depressed by external events, who is free from the desire to acquire or to reject. So this person lives playfully. The person realizes it's all a story, it's all a game. When you play a game, you take it seriously. So being playful doesn't mean being flippant or not taking things seriously. You play the game seriously, but you still realize it's a game.